32 FM 94.9.
Every day is another chance to do it all over again.
Get the best of starts on the break of dawn. 32 FM 94.9.
Right, it's the 25th day in the month of October 2021, and it's the Break of Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 94.9. Good morning to you, dear listener. I am Chike Obogo.
Good morning to you, and thank you for joining us. Beautiful Monday morning it is, and it is the 25th day in the month of October. All right, we'll go straight to the papers. It's your morning tonic, the Break of Dawn newspaper review. I have The Guardian here, I have Daily Trust, Premium Times, and The Nation newspaper.
All right, I have the Punch newspaper and the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. Starting from the Punch newspaper, front headline, bold, SIM NIN linkage. Subscribers push for 2 months extension. Deadline expires on Sunday. With the riders, subscriber group says registration centers extremely crowded. Fresh extension likely after NIMC NTC review. It's coming from Telcom firms. ASU cautions federal government on 30 billion naira revitalization fund. October 31 deadline nears. We also have the rider union NEC meets early next month to decide next line of action. Okay, we also have this one. INEC needs 17.618 workers, 17,618 workers to conduct APC PDP primaries. INEC needs 17,618 workers to conduct APC PDP primaries. World Bank blacklists 18 Nigerian firms, individuals for corruption. This coming from a World Bank report. Otedola shareholders, analysts project spike in First Bank Nigeria share price. Aviation agencies plan 436.6 billion naira revenue. Budget 55.86 billion naira for security. We also have this one. Amotekun deploys personnel in boundary communities. 13 fleeing Oyo inmates arrested as army detains soldier for assaulting Kwara nurses during wife's delivery. Finally, NDLEA seizes UK Malaysia-bound drugs. Owners arrested in Lagos, Kano, and others.
Right from Daily Trust newspaper, Presidency urges governors to provide land for ranching. Presidency urges governors to provide land for ranching. Still from Daily Trust, Buhari off to Saudi Arabia on Monday. EFCC grills ex-SGF INT'L. Federal government needs to place mental health on spotlight. Police arrest 13 Oyo jail attack escapees in Oshun. Cubana priest, chief priest Bibi Naijas Maria has stolen my sister's husband. That you also find from Daily Trust. More before we go to another paper. 3 officers shot dead inside a Bonyi police station. After Daily Trust report, Ganduje offers job to blind teacher. Another one here. Nigeria, a daily catastrophe looms for Nigeria's ruling party as losers fight back. Police arrest 13. I took that already. Youth will not take arms if adequately empowered. Maduka. Buhari to float CBN's e-Naira on Monday. SDP suspends Anambra chairman secretary over anti-party activities. EFCC grills INT'L. I took that also. One more before we go to another paper. I am sorry for giving you Obiano. Peter Obi begs Anambra people.
All right, from the Nation newspaper. Tension heightens in PDP over uncertain convention as governors consult over Secondus court case. Makinde, October 30th date, sacrosanct. We also have this one here. Speakers seek more action against bandits as 392 Oyo inmates still at large, 13 arrested in Osun State. Anambra 2021, INEC to visually impaired. Your votes will count. Uba decries poor state of Anambra roads. We also have this one here. Why governors don't want Oyinlola as deputy chair. This is right up there. CBN raises healthcare fund to 200 billion naira. 780 million naira cash. EFCC grills ex-Secretary General of the Federation, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, I beg your pardon, Pius Ayim Pius. We also have this one here before we go to another newspaper. Gunmen abduct 3 in Ogun Church. Gunmen abduct 3 in Ogun Church. As APC okays Osun State Congress results. These are some of the headlines from the Nation newspaper.
From the Guardian newspaper, Oshibajo still in race for 2023 presidency. Group insists. Oshibajo still in race for 2023 presidency. Group insists. Ogun begins palliative works on Sangota Road, Warwick Duna refineries for rehabilitation soon, says Silva. Rivers not at war with federal government over that. Wike clarifies. Declare bandits terrorists. 36 speakers tell Buhari. EFCC quizzes former Senate President Anyim over alleged diversion of funds. Still from there, Nigeria's polio-free status intact. Federal government affirms. Ole on the brink as Liverpool hammers Man United at Old Trafford. It was something else yesterday.
Annihilation, massacre.
I don't want to talk about it.
Massacre at the Theatre of Dreams.
We'll move on from that particular one. Minister sues former world boxing champion Basha Ali over alleged defamatory video, disruptive comments. That'll be off from The Guardian. Let's take one more. Okay, let's look at premium times here before we go on a short break. Bandits not different from Boko Haram. Buhari replies, the economists. Okay. EFCC grills ex-Senate president. We took that. INEC yet to commence issuance of PVC to eligible Anambra electorate. 2 weeks to election. 2 traditional rulers, 45 others killed by non-state actors across Nigeria last week. How have achieved success with Barcelona Super Falcons Oshoala. Okay, constituency projects worth billions of naira untractable in Ondo. FCT, that's according to reports. Buhari to launch e-Naira. CBN announces new commencement date. Colombia most wanted drug kingpin captured. Forfeited asset disposal. Federal government's committee screens 613 independent valuers. And one more, Nigeria records 1 death, 159 new cases on Saturday. That's referring to COVID-19.
All right, we are joined by our analyst this morning, Dr. Olu Ojedokun. Doctor, good morning. It's good to have you this week.
And top of the day to you, of course.
Some funny headlines there. I heard you giggle the other time.
Oh, yes. I mean, I would certainly never walk alone. I think it's evident. The results were a foregone conclusion.
I think this morning we have 2 cops here and we have 1 red devil because I don't walk alone.
Oh, you don't walk alone? Okay, good.
It was some annihilation there at Old Trafford. No,
it was. In terms of tactics, I didn't understand what the Man United were up to. But, I mean, the Liverpool were on rampage anyway. They were on rampage.
They had a GOAT, okay, the greatest of all time. That's in the person of Ronaldo, and he couldn't salvage anything from there.
Yeah, a tree doesn't make a forest, does it?
And then Tayo is not happy.
Yes. I don't think he is. But, well, it's a long game. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So let's see what happens.
I guess
you can go on and on and make all this.
He started his Manchester United jersey.
Oh, well, we can give him a red shirt.
We could give him one red.
Yes.
Not the away one, but the remain red.
Yes.
Well, I'm still the superior red any day. All right, away from that, Buhari up to Saudi Arabia. That's today. That's from Daily Trust. President Buhari will on Monday, the 25th of October, leave for Riyadh, Saudi Arabia to participate in the investment conference organized by the Future Investment Initiative Institute. Presidential spokesperson Gabashew announced this in a statement on Sunday.
Well, some might refer to it as a junket. Some might say, are we going to achieve anything different for Nigeria? What's it going to do? If you have insecurity in the background, if you have an economy that is all over the place, if your physical monetary policies do not add up, then no amount of conferences you go all over the world, globe trotting, is going to achieve much. And really, what's the value of Buhari going there Does really our president understand? Can he grapple with the issues concerned? Wouldn't it be better to send a technocrat, somebody who's able at least, to argue our case, to put forward our position, and to come up with a coherent policy? So I'm not sure that's going to achieve much, but some may disagree.
All right, you say he's going for an investment summit. Yeah, we've had a lot of these investment summits in the past. And then what are we investing in as a country so far?
Well, I don't know, but what is quite clear is that the way we're dealing with the insurgency, terrorism, or whatever you call it, is not going to give any confidence, much confidence to the investors. The way we're dealing with fintech companies. I know we're launching the e-naira after we've the onslaught on cryptocurrency. The somersaults in our policies are not going to bring much investment. What's going to bring much investment is confidence in Nigeria security, confidence in Nigeria economy, confidence in our governance, ease of doing business. For instance, see what's going on at the port. Many people are fleeing the port because basically people are being, I don't want to use the word swindled, that's not the word. They're overburdened with so many extra taxes. Taxes that are legitimate and those that are just layered and laden and come from officials. And so at the end of the day, you don't get the ease of doing business. So investment conference, yeah, is good. Ease of doing business, we don't have it.
All right, still from Daily Trust, the presidency has appealed to governors to provide land for ranching. Malam Gabashew, presidential spokesman, made the appeal while reacting to a critical editorial of London-based The Economist. It's a long story here from Daily Trust. Gabashew said the only government of Nigeria... The Economist said the only government of Nigeria which has ever sought a solution to the centuries-old header farmers' dispute of the Central Belt remained President Buhari's administration.
Well, in my view, some might say that's a delusion. But the government seems to be putting the cart before the horse. Why didn't they negotiate with the governors?
No, actually, the other part there was said by Gabashew and not by The Economist.
Yes, and it's Gabashew that is putting the cart before the horse. Is deluded to say that this is the only government that has tried to resolve. Yes, so I was very specific in directing it to him. It is the only government that has exacerbated, some will say, the herders farmers crisis. They have exacerbated it. They haven't resolved it. So for him to suggest that, I think he's being disingenuous. I think the other aspect about it is that I thought I heard that Malami was taking the states to the Supreme Court over this so-called open grazing and ranching. So it contradicts that. If the government is not coming to beg the states, that means it recognizes that under the constitution, the governors, you understand, own the land in trust for the people, and that this land they're talking about, whether the old gazetted ones that Buhari was referring to in his speech, do not exist constitutionally, and he cannot impose it. The only place that he has the writ is in Abuja and not beyond the state. So this pleading with states after laws have been passed, I think, maybe he wants them to re-amend, go back to their state assemblies and amend the laws. But this is not the way governance should be done. I mean, a lot of this should have been done through maybe Council of States and things like that. But the Council of State, I don't even think is met at all in this second term of the president.
All right, I just want to ask this. Ranching, will it curb the innate person of the herdsman? You remember they say the rains do not wash off the spots from the leopard. You create a ranching, for instance, will it still stop the herder from still being, still migrating? This moving from one place to the other.
Let's be very clear that many of these herdsmen are frontmen for very rich people. In other words, they don't own this cattle, you understand? And they're doing it, they're paid to do it, and they are doing it on behalf of their patrons. So that's the number one thing. Number two, if ranching is going to bring fatter cattle, healthier cattle, and bring more profits, of course, those rich people who send herdsmen all over the place might be tempted, you understand, to settle for ranching. So I think it's going to be an economic decision from that point of view rather than so much cultural. There's a cultural element to it, but many of the herders don't actually own the cattle. They're doing it on behalf of patrons.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, when you create ranching, does it still stop the herder from being nomadic? Well,
in the past, the nomadic herders owned the cattle, but now they don't.
So what then happens to those ones? The
herders? That's the big question. Well, I imagine that they will go to the ranches and take care of the cattle. But of course, it will leave some people out of a job, as it were. So that's a question, of course, the government will have to consider. What I believe that for people to say that because it's historic and cultural that Erdin will not stop, I don't believe it. Erdin exists because people need it, and the rich people, you understand, employ them to do it.
All right, let me take you back a little to the Economist publication the other time that referred to Nigerian army as useless, and that our generals now sell weapons and, to terrorists, as a matter of fact. What was your reaction to this?
First and foremost, I would ask the economists to provide conclusive evidence. But the economists will say, in addition to Wall Street Journal, that the fact that the Boko Haram, whoever they are anyway, or the terrorists, were able to shoot down an aircraft, you understand, is evidence that they have some of this weaponry. I think there's a lot of speculation. I don't think one can conclusively say weapons are being sold. But what is clear is that those terrorists have these weapons. Where they got the weapons from is the concern that we have today from that point of view. And what is quite clear is that we do not have the Nigerian army that went to Liberia, the Nigerian army that went to Sierra Leone, that went to Lebanon, the Nigerian army that went to Congo, all these places, you understand, and distinguished themselves. I'm not so sure is the Nigerian army that we have today.
All right. The 36th House of Assembly speakers has called on President Buhari to declare bandits as terrorists and enemies of the nation. This was their resolution at a conference of speakers of State Houses of Assembly in Katsina State yesterday. The call of the conference of speakers is coming a day after Katsina Governor Aminu Masari reiterated the earlier call of his Kaduna counterpart Nasir El-Rufai and the National Assembly for the federal government to declare a state of emergency on the nation's security and declare bandits as terrorists.
Well, I don't think the federal government has any problem in declaring Igbo a terrorist, nor do they have a problem in declaring Kanu a terrorist. But it's taking months and months of campaign for people that are able to stop, the train service, bomb the train service, some say, for people that are able to bring down an aircraft, at least one aircraft, and in some instances claim territory. I think the government has been quite reticent, and I think the government's priority is certainly not declaring them terrorists.
When we say government, we are referring to the man whose table the buck stops, and that's Mr. President.
The federal government, yes, Mr. President, Aso Rock, precisely. And I don't think they are convinced yet that these people actually present an existential risk to Nigeria. But they do. And the reason why these speakers want them declared terrorists is because of the existential risk that they pose to Nigeria. There are some notable southern commentators, I won't mention their name, who continue to insist, at least on the popular television station, that they're not terrorists, you understand, and that they're bandits. And I say again and again, he's wrong. He's profoundly wrong.
I don't know why. My concern here majorly is why do we have to plead and almost beg Mr. President on things like this?
Well, because some people speculate that Mr. President doesn't seem to be the president of Nigeria, but president of a part of Nigeria. I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that they are wrong. But if he were presiding over the entire Nigeria, then he would see the big picture and the larger picture. That is people, you understand, you don't need any convincing. They are terrorists, pure and simple. And you declare them that and you move on. The same way you treat the Kanus is the same way that you must treat this so-called bandits.
So what Kola argued last week on Saturday precisely was that, see, these guys do not have a known leader. All right, they do not have a flag. They do not have, so it's very difficult for you to trace, and also arrest them. That was what he said. That was his argument. What do you say?
What of Al-Qaeda? What of Al-Shabaab? What of all these characters all over the place? Do they have known leaders? Even in the IRA, at the height of IRA terrorism, they didn't have a known leader. So I think that argument is a bit, weak, from that point of view. So I think they have cells, you understand, and there's a way you can go after command and control. What they did to the mobile phone, it's a start. It's not conclusive, obviously, but it's a start. So these people, yes, don't have a leader, but there are ways that you can go after them, and I think the first step is to recognize what they are. We haven't recognized what they are, so we can begin to fight them effectively.
I really wish we can talk to Sheikh Gumi at this time now to really get his thoughts on whether we should declare this bandit terrorists or not. He seemed not to see the reasons why we should anyway.
He thinks it will exacerbate the situation. Gumi does have contacts with them, and he has more of an inside track, I would say, with them than many Nigerians have. And he feels it's going to exacerbate it. And I'll say profoundly that he's wrong. I think, it will push them to the wall and it will give the Nigerian military an opportunity to engage with them the way they should, which is militarily.
We go on a commercial break now. When we return, there are still headlines in the eastern part of the country, Anambra precisely. They say no Kanu, no election. IPOB declares or dares federal government.
For those wondering if the new Schweppes Zobo tastes as good as they say it does, experience tells us. Try it. Find out for yourself. Introducing new Schweppes Zobo, made with over 200 years of experience.
láti gòkè àgùnlà láyé èèyàn nílò ìtọ́sọ́nà ẹni tó mọ̀nà débi àṣeyọrí FMH International HR àwọn ni gbajúgbajà akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ alárinà tó mọ ojúlẹ̀jà bá ti ń tọ́ni sọ́nà finimọ̀nà nípa bí gbogbo òǹwáṣẹ́ ṣe lè pàdé àwọn òǹgbanisíṣẹ́ pàápàá jùlọ láwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó wà lókè òkun.
FMH International HR alábàáṣepọ̀ gidi ni wọ́n jẹ́ pẹ̀lú àjọ oníwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ àgbáyé tá a mọ̀ sí United Nations Volunteer Research Group láti jùmọ̀ tọpinpin wàhálà táwọn ọmọlẹ́yìn ń kojú nídìí ìgbìyànjú ajé lọ sílẹ̀ òkèèrè ìyẹn ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ mọ́ international migration àti international labour activities.
ǹjẹ́ o tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé o nílò ìmọ̀ tó jinlẹ̀ dáadáa nípa ìlànà à ń tẹ̀lé láwọn pápákọ̀ òfurufú tó fẹ́ gbà sọdá sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí United Nations Volunteer Research Group pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ FMH International HR ń ṣe research lórí ẹ̀dùn ọkàn àti ìpèníjà tẹ́ ẹ bá ní. questionnaires táwọn òṣìṣẹ́ FMH bá fún yín lágbègbè yín lẹ́yìn ṣàlàyé ìrírí yín sí.
fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ kàn sí wọn ní 3rd and 9th floor Cocoa House Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn.
telephone 0817 4444 627
àti 08168737222.
Yo, so they call you a dance legend. One move, and you have their attention. Then, when you start to crumb to the beat, everyone goes wild, screaming for more. But only the people in your area know you. Here's your chance to move from local champion to record breaker. Let your dance skills take you and your crew to the top at the Globe Battle of the Year Nigeria Dance Competition, where you get to face off with Nigeria's finest. Grab your share of 84 million naira in prizes money and stand a chance to represent Nigeria at the Battle of the Year World Tournament. Go ahead, visit globebotynigeria.com now to enter. 84 million naira prize money, unlimited fame. Glow Battle of the Year Nigeria. Dance Unlimited.
Your uncle is not supposed to be touching you like that.
I have a lot of uncles. My father has a lot of brothers, and my father's brothers have cousins. I have uncles.
Unwrap all the baggage in Ghana Jollof. Streaming weekly only on Showmax. Subscribe from 1,200 naira monthly at showmax.com.
Set to fresh. I feel the freshness. I got the confidence. With the liquid fused chewing gum, not Santa Fresh. I'm feeling good. I feel so good. Yes, I feel so fresh. I feel so fresh. I got confidence. Santa Fresh. The correct chewing gum, not Santa Fresh. No darling with Santa Fresh.
Santa Fresh chewing gum. Trust the freshness.
This weekend, predict the scores of 6 football fixtures and you could win 50 million naira for free. What's more, even if you miss the jackpot, there is still 1 million naira for the player with the closest predictions each week. So, could that be you? Visit www.superpicks.com today and start predicting. Terms and conditions apply. Super Picks. Play for free. Win for real.
The next family to perform is the Johnson's family.
I'm breaking all limits. I turn challenges into opportunities.
Biovit Vitamin B Complex is an ideal daily supplement for the family. Manufactured with vitamin B1, B2, and B6. Biovit supports development of the infant and helps boost energy for pregnant women. For a healthier and happier family, take Biovit.
Biovit Vitamin B Complex. Strength for active family. Produced by Daily Need Industries. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
All right, welcome back. 32 FM 94.9 Break It On newspaper review reaching you live. We are live on YouTube, 32 FM 949 Ibadan. We took this headline before that commercial break. Anambra 2021, no Kanu, no election. IPOB dares federal government. We have riders here. Please mom over threats. INEC silent. Meet security agencies on Monday to determine next line of action. Kanu's incarceration won't end agitation for self-determination. Sweep injustices under carpet. And the APC, we are not afraid of any threat from any quarters.
And to think that Kanu was an irrelevant person on the narrative concerning what was going on in the southeast about a few years ago, it was just an irritant. And to think that this government has built him up into a hero, somebody who now becomes the issue when we're talking about territorial integrity of Nigeria. What I would do if I were the government, of course, is that the way you take the sting out of this is that give the guy bail. You understand? All that protective custody. Take the sting out of it. You need to do something in response to what IPOB are doing. Because IPOB really, in terms of the security, they seem to have it. In terms of unknown grown men, even though IPOB would deny that they weren't responsible, policemen, what do you call them, civil defense, none of the men of the military can walk Anambra State freely as we speak. In fact, they're in control. You know, so how they're going to do it, I don't know. I think the federal government has brought battalions and so on and so forth. But my own view is that elections will hold, but it's going to be bloody. And it's going to be bloody for what effect? It's certainly not going to be for the effect of the people, and certainly not for the effect of Nigerians. So we watch, we wait, we see. And we see how the federal government is going to handle this situation. Whether the blood of the ordinary man of the Anambra State, is worth, just imposing a governor who has no democratic legitimacy.
The group has also warned residents of the zone against flouting the impending sit-at-home directive, stressing that doing so amounts to testing the resolve of the people on the Biafra project.
Yes, that's going to be very difficult for people to go out and vote. But I think whatever happens, there is going to be some collation of some votes. And that my danger, the danger for many people is that you will get imposed people that you ordinarily would not want to be governor, just because most of the people are scared and have been denied the opportunity to vote.
All right. On social media over the weekend, there were some stories flying out that midterm for schools will begin on the 4th and end on the 11th. And then some say a sit at home will start from the 5th and end on the 10th. And then you ask, this tension is too high. And then security wise, you ask yourself, there's a governor in the state. How can non-state actors impose laws over the state where you have a governor?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a textbook case for scholars, not just of international relations, when it turns politics. Because we've always thought that the only actor that really matters, the realist will say, is the state actor, and that the non-state actors are just bystanders in many respects. But this proves the fact that IPOB is in charge. And they're in charge because they've tapped into their legitimate aspiration. Some will say legitimate aspiration, some will say illegitimate. Whatever it is, they tapped into a popular groundswell of opinion. And the federal government hasn't done anything to mitigate it or to address it. The federal government has nothing in terms of dialogue. The federal government has not shown anything in terms of strategy. And therefore, these people are in control. So these non-state actors have declared sit at home. And the federal government is saying, no, you understand. But do the people of Anambra, do they trust the federal government? Do they trust them to look after their own interest? Who do they trust? Even if they don't trust the IPOB, you understand, are they prepared to go against the IPOB? And I don't think they are. So we are in a stalemate in this kind of situation.
But don't you also think, indeed, that the millions of his court followers will be restive as long as he's in detention? And
yes.
Of course, we now have some group saying you should or you must release Sunday Igboho also, or else the federal government will not enjoy whatever it comes out of keeping him in custody perpetually. Now, this is not for Igboho, it's a peculiar case anyway.
Yes. No, I think the danger and the mistake government has made is that by isolating and by deifying, I use the word deify, a particular individual, then you actually put yourself on the back foot. They did the same, even though it took years. They did the same with Nelson Mandela. You understand? They made him an icon, a global icon. After all, Nelson Mandela was responsible within Kanto way for blowing up installations, police stations, and so on and so forth. They made him a global icon. And they're in danger, you understand, to a great extent, of making this guy a global icon, whether or not he deserves to be, because of the way they've mismanaged the situation. If you want to manage the situation, you bring this guy to the negotiating table. You negotiate with him, even from prison. That's what they did with Nkrumah. That's what they did with Jomo Kenyatta. Some might say that I'm being a bit fallacious in comparing nationalists to what's his name? To Sunday and Kanu. But the people regard him as that, in spite of his flaws.
They call him a great leader.
Yes, in spite of his flaws, they do. And so the federal government has to recognize that this struggle is bigger than an individual, and if they want to deal with it, they have to engage with it. But unfortunately, the people that we have in charge do not seem to be governing for the whole of Nigeria. They seem to be governing for a section, and they don't seem to be able to understand the dynamics of statecraft.
All right, from the Punch newspaper this morning, NIN SIM linkage. Subscribers want 2 months extension as deadline nears. Telecommunications subscribers are clamoring for a 2-month extension of the October 31st deadline for the National Identity Number Subscriber Identity Module Data Verification. The president of the association, Diolu Gumbanjo, highlighted the need to further extend the deadline of the NIN SIM exercise to allow for the full implementation of the security policy. Well, that's the excuse there, but the headline, NIN SIM linkage, subscribers want 2 months extension as deadline here.
Yeah, that's about the 5th extension or so. It's been a monumental follow-up in the sense that people told them when they started that you cannot capture all this data within a short period of time. It has to be extended, it has to be an ongoing exercise, and it has to be over a period of time. And I think the events, of course, are proving that to be right. NIN in itself, you understand, is not a bad policy, but this implementation has been chaotic, starts and stops, and it's been riddled in some instances with corruption. I understand some people are making money from it. From that point of view, I understand that some people have missed their year; they cannot sit their exams because they had no NI. It cost untold suffering to people. Why? For a system, you understand, which you keep on postponing. Couldn't you have given a pass? They said you can sit JAM, you can sit any of these exams if you have NIN, and many parents have gone through untold hardship. So yes, I have no doubt that there will be another extension. But has it been worth it, from the point? Because after all, the bandits, after all, the criminals, or the terrorists, which I prefer to call them, have still been able to run riot, NIN or no NIN.
Bandits have seemed to expose the SIM NIN linkage failure.
Of course, that's
recently.
a failure.
And even police can't even track on these gunmen. And then it becomes a problem. So why the exercise at first?
Well, the exercise, I think for somebody that knows what he's doing, the exercise would have been worthwhile. But the way they've gone about it, the way it's been handled, the incompetence that has riddled it, has exposed the flaws. You see, what you do with this sort of thing is you have a test run, over a period of time, and then you look at the flaws, you look at the gaps, and then you address the gaps after proper feedback and evaluation. We didn't do that. We rushed into it gung-ho, you understand. What is his name? The man called Professor Patami, you understand. He basically wouldn't listen to any advice.
Professor Patami.
Yes, it's called Professor Patami.
All right.
No, you said it's called.
Oh, yes, that's how it's described.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nahaba, Buhari isn't managing Nigeria well because he doesn't consult.
Well, does he have the capacity to consult? Wasn't that the same argument that his fellow travelers years ago, is it 20 or 30 years ago, used? That he doesn't consult. I think he has a fixed position. And I think, you understand, if you look at the way that Buhari operates, his positions have been positions of decades ago, from that point of view. If he consulted, then possibly one of the most erudite, possibly one of the most capable vice president I asked by his side, and he's been unable to use him to better effect. So that's evidence that he's not consulting. If he were consulting, then of course we would have seen more of the vice president and would have had a better government. I think.
How did he escape being properly drilled by Nigerians before the 2015 election?
I don't think he escaped. I think people were tired. I think people saw the monumental, so-called monumental corruption and the failure of the security under Jonathan, so-called failure of the security, that we thought that we couldn't go any worse. And we thought that Buhari, with the military expertise, what he did in Chad, you understand. Buhari, with his anti-corruption, also aided and abetted by Obasanjo, who claimed that it was the cleanest of the officers. I think we took those two. We felt in terms of the economy, Tinubu and Oshibajo and co will handle the economy, and I think that was the understanding. But unfortunately, when he got in, you understand, not only was the economy not allowed to be handled by Oshibajo and Tinubu axis, the security is much vaunted, you understand, expertise in that area was a damn squib. So I think a lot of people just felt that Buhari would do better and he couldn't do worse. Unfortunately, he's done, it appears, worse.
All right, still looking at the headlines, and of course, in a bit, we open the phone lines. Let's take this one from Premium Times, and it says Buhari to launch e-Naira. Or did we look at that earlier?
No,
okay.
we
to launch
didn't.
e-Naira as CBN announces new commencement date.
Yes, obviously, the government was very, very nervous when the cryptocurrency thing came up. In fact, they did ban it, and there were some fintech companies that were harassed for that because they felt that cryptocurrency was the basis on which the NSAS and many, many demonstrations were organized. Now they've come up with their own version. Some would say it's better than nothing, but I would suggest why the policy somersault. We need consistency of policy, and we will see how this goes. I've tried to understand it. I don't fully understand it yet, but what I do know is that you have a wallet. It's not physical money, you understand, and that the currency's value remains stable. If that is the case, then of course it brings about an attraction. But anything, why should the central bank itself be the one launching e-Naira? Shouldn't it be left to banks and so on and so forth? But anyway, what do I know about economics?
Okay, we have this headline here. Sean Shia, Sunni division, IMN tells Muslims. Well, we'll still get to look at more of these headlines after this break. Don't go away. This is still the Break of Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 94.9. Stay tuned.
Yo, so they call you a dance legend. One move, and you have their attention. Then, when you start to crumb to the beat, everyone goes wild, screaming for more. But from local champion to record breaker, let your dance skills take you and your crew to the top at the Glow Battle of the Year Nigeria Dance Competition, where you get to face off with Nigeria's finest. Grab your share of 84 million naira in prizes money and stand a chance to represent Nigeria at the Battle of the Year World Tournament. Go ahead, visit glowbotynigeria.com now to enter. 84 million naira prize money, unlimited fame. Glow Battle of the Year Nigeria. Dance Unlimited.
Precious Cornerstone University, PCU, a faith-based institution located in the heart of the city of Ibadan, provides a student-friendly and enabling environment to fulfill your dreams. Precious Cornerstone University is a true pan-Nigerian university, currently with students from more than 22 states of the Federation. PCU is currently calling for admissions of new intakes, and with a minimum score of 120 in JAMB UTME with 5 O-level credits in English and mathematics alongside 3 other relevant subjects, you can enroll today in accounting, business administration, banking and finance, economics, computer science, microbiology, and more new courses have been approved. Mass communication, international relations, cyber security, software engineering, and procurement. Direct entry admission for all ND and HND holders is also ongoing, and students with lower mark than 120 can also register for JUPEB. Enroll online today at www.pcu.edu.ng and follow the procedure. Or you can visit the Precious Cornerstone University Campus 1 at Olaogun Odife Road, Ibadan, or call now 080-600-51554 or 081-3181-1946.
Hello! We believe you're enjoying Titan Farms products like Titan Rice, Yam Flour, Rice Flour, Titan Oil, and others. Oh yes! With Titan Farms, there's always something more. Give your child the best gift by buying any of our lots at Titan Farms Estate, Upperland City, Monia, Idianyure, Regal Gardens, Soka, Cherry Court, Ilaji, and enjoy freebies like 500 blocks, 20 bags of cement, free survey, deed of assignment. That's not all. Here's the big deal. For every land you buy in your child's name at Titan Farms Estate, you can get a loan to sort your child's school fees if need be at no interest for up to 3 months. Yes, you heard me. No interest for 3 months. To enjoy this limited offer, quickly call 0906 007 9714 or visit Titan House opposite Motor Dealer Park, New Garage Road, Ibadan, or check us out on www.titanfarms.org.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shay, they use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Now, hole for teeth they cause most tooth pain will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
An exciting day at school begins with breakfast plus Peak 456 growing up milk fortified with DHA to support brain development.
Grow up strong and smart with Peak 456 growing up milk every day.
Me and you, let's go to Ghana. Grind jollof. This is Ghana. You've come here to seek for greener pastures. Make it your worthwhile. Your uncle is not supposed to be touching you like that.
I have a lot of uncles. My father has a lot of brothers, and my father's brothers have cousins.
Unwrap all the baggage in the new Showmax original comedy series, starring Basketmouth, Akanani, Jocelyn Dumas, and more. Watch Ghana Jollof weekly only on Showmax. Subscribe from 1,200 Naira monthly. Sign up now at showmax.com.
The next family to perform is the Johnson's family.
I'm breaking all limits. Now me be my left for this world. I turn challenges into opportunities. Now me go be the next Miss World.
BioVit Vitamin B Complex is an ideal daily supplement for the family. Manufactured with vitamin B1, B2, and B6. BioVit supports development of the infant and helps boost energy for pregnant women. For a healthier and happier family, take BioVit.
BioVit Vitamin B Complex, strength for active family. Produced by Daily Need Industries. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
lẹ́nìkan bá ń bí mi ohun tí mo máa ṣe tí bá jowó tó tówó gidi mo ronú mílíọ̀nù kan náírà àbí ìyẹn ò tó nǹkan kan rárá bóyá pẹ̀lú bíi 5 tàbí 10 mo lè.
mú àlárèrè rẹ ṣẹ pẹ̀lú ìpolongo Airtel Recharge and Blow níbi tí gbogbo èèyàn ti jẹ́ olúborí ra owó ìpè dójú àmì lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ kó o sì gbádùn ẹ̀bùn owó tó tó 100 mílíọ̀nù náírà. ìpolongo yìí ń wá sópin ní oṣù December ọdún 2021 fún àlàyé síwájú sí testa 444*4#.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
All right, welcome back from the commercial break. We're having some conversation here behind the scene. But let's look at this particular headline. Kano Speaker, we will back Tinubu for president. He supported Buhari.
Well, that says it all, isn't it? Even if Tinubu is not going to declare, he hasn't declared, the campaign is not open. But I think the line has been drawn. And I think, the support seems to be apparent.
All right.
That was a short from Doctor. But some guys are also, canvassing support for the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo.
Yeah, I think it's natural that when you are second in command, if I use that old expression, that some people would say, why not? You can step in and you can become president if you've been vice president for a period of time. But I think the political reality would suggest that Osinbajo has no political base. Tinubu has the political base. He's from Tinubu's political family. And that Osinbajo has his rights and has the credence of his rights to Tinubu. So I think it's unlikely that Osinbajo would do anything about the so-called people who are saying that he should run.
Okay, the lines are open now, and I'm sure we have a very first call here. Hello.
All right, you can join us right now on 070-55,949, 080-979,949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling?
Yeah, my name is Adeshu Yomamba from UI.
All right.
I want to comment on the no elections in Anambra by IPOD. You see, what is going on in Nigeria now, especially to the southern part of the country, is not about election now. Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu, they are body. You can't see you guys in Chile there. One will tolerate. It's not anybody that can allow it. These two people said a lot of injustices. Look at how you were killed in the Gogo. It's not all of us that can go there. Somebody mobilized that it was all okay. And somebody like that said it is terrorist. If I have my way, there is no how I will allow elections to take place in Southwest too. Especially the party that is in this government. How can it an insult for them to be asking the government to be waiting for them? Or in a normal sense, if you are reasonable, that's the best of today.
Thank you for your contribution there, Doctor, or your jailbreak. 13 fleeing inmates arrested in Osun.
Yes, I mean, I think that came as a shock, the fact that the jailbreak happened. But there's some suggesting that the circumstances are such that people must have infiltrated from other places for this. It was planned, it was an infiltration. But the question is that where does that leave our jails? This is not the first time it's happened. It happened in Benin. It happened in other places. Are our jails safe? Are they safe at all? And I'm not sure that they are. Of course, the governor made a speech yesterday. You see, I've not been able to follow it conclusively. But what is clear is that there's a concern. When you have criminals or alleged criminals roaming the streets, then of course the insecurity in the state is in question. But they are not just in the state. 13 were picked up in Osun State, which means they're spreading their wings and tentacles across the states.
All right. The minister said prison attacks are meant to ridicule this government. Like you said, it's happening too much.
If they are meant to ridicule this government, then what's the government doing about it? I mean, you see, sometimes you turn the argument on its head. If they were well secured, if they had everything in place, then there would not be jailbreaks. And when he's saying, of course, people want to ridicule the government. That's just the way it operates. But it's the responsibility of government to ensure they are not ridiculed. You know, and so ministers should get on top of their game and stop, deploying, plural statements or arguments.
And the Oyo State governor has ordered the installation of CCTV in your prisons. We'll wait for things. We just react to issues.
Yes, yes.
I hope we can be better proactive.
Yes, because you would have thought that they would have at CCTV. That's a modern thing. That's not. It's not rocket science, I don't know. Well.
070550949. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, please. On the issue of no canon, no election in Anambra State, please, I'm appealing to the IPOB to please let the peace reign in that state, because they should remember that when two elephants fight, the grass will suffer. Thank you. Good morning. This is Obasharon.
All right. Thank you, Obasharon. Bushuyi Adeyeye on YouTube says, good morning to you. Let your analyst say it. Buhari is a sectional president, a president who was quick to brand IPOB as terrorist, but reluctant to tag bandits as terrorists because he's also Fulani. Omotolani Abiola Mobasharon, on the issue of no canon, no election in Anambra State, IPOB should please let peace reign in the state. They should remember, when two elephants fight, the grass will suffer. Okay, we got that too. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Alaji.
Alaji Asalam from Coca-Cola.
Go on.
Still on the matter, on the issue of bandits and the refusal of the federal government to declare them terrorists, I think we should continue praying, because we've said a lot. And the National Assembly too, they are, we all knew this long ago, they are backing, but they cannot bite. Because if you advise or give some kind of advice to Mr. President to declare bandits as terrorists, and for about 2 weeks now, the government of Mr. President refused to do so. We all knew in federal time what will have followed. They should have changed the impeachment process. But under this National Assembly, it can never happen. And that's why we said the National Assembly is a leprosy kind of a National Assembly. They can bite and they can back, but they cannot bite. Thank you.
All right, 009 7000 949 0705 5000 949 to join the conversation in the studio. He says the National Assembly can back, but they can't bite.
I'm not even sure they're backing. Honestly, that's the truth. They're silence, radio silence most of the time. All they do is running interference when it comes to electoral processes, basically interfering in things that are not their business. They're not doing their job. They don't seem to be, which is rather unfortunate.
All right, Mambila, 100 billion naira down the drain. That's on Mambila Power Project.
I mean, I've been hearing of Mambila for as long as I've been hearing about electricity projects in Nigeria. And one wonders what the main problem is. I know that there's also mired in some legal dispute. But it's rather unfortunate that it's taking so long, in normal climes, some people would have paid for it. Nobody's paying for it. No culprits have been identified. It's just money down the drains. Isn't that the story of Nigeria? Impunity reigning uninhibited.
49 years after.
Yes.
1972.
Yes.
100 billion naira.
Yes. And that's what, and the shame of it is that nobody pays for it. I think that's the point.
Will Nigerians ever see the Mambila power plant?
I hope we will. Well, you may ask a question about how just still, what's the Ajaokuta, and so on and so forth. There are many white elephants that are littered across the landscape. So I think Mambila is just symptomatic of that.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name, sir?
My name is Daniel Chukudi Okereke. I'm speaking from Oketunu.
Please go on.
Yeah. What I can see is that our National Assembly is one of the major cause of the bad governance of Nigeria. If we have a National Assembly that is not doing that, is doing what it's supposed to do, and is free from the executive, it's not appendage of the executive, Buhari will not have been doing what he is doing today. But today we have a rubber stamp assembly. Even you could remember that the Senate president says that anything that the president brought to the National Assembly or whatever he wants is what they will do. And they have been doing so. So the National Assembly is the cause and the root cause of this bad governance. Now that's it. So they can't call the president to order. That's it. Good morning.
Thank you, Daniel Okereke. The other time, the argument was that Bukola Saraki and his members were the problem of this country. Now we have Ahmed Lawan, and I don't know.
Well, they were the problem because they were scrutinizing and they kept on airing the executive, and that's the job of the National Assembly. Now we have a National Assembly that is docile and a National Assembly that's just only self-interested in their own welfare. Nothing else matters to them.
I think some few months ago we were crying that the president should start the service chief, that would bring security to the country. Now the president did that. Did you have security? I think there is a time where we, the citizens themselves, we need to have self-reflection. So what will happen if they name these people terrorists and nothing happens again? So I mean, we need to also look at ourselves. Have we also been making right decisions? Thank you.
All right, 070550949, 080970949. Doctor, 26 years after, the Joy Youth Council is telling the federal government to seek for forgiveness and pay repatriation to King Saruwiwa and the 8 others. And the headline here, the story here says, the Joy Youth Council has called on the federal government to ask for forgiveness for allegedly unjust killing of Ogoni activist and writer Ken Saruwiwa and 8 of his kinsmen in November 1995. I still remember that. I hope this will not bring up to something else in the South House.
Just about a day ago, President Buhari had said he will consider pardon for Saruwiwa and other Ogoni leaders. And people asked, what was their offense for them to warrant a pardon?
I think pardon is premature, but I also think that what needs to be established conclusively is the innocence of those parties. The judicial process, of course, was flawed because it wasn't a proper judicial process. And I think it needs to be looked at, from that point of view. And if they want to bring peace, particularly between the Ogoni people and the federal government, I think that reparations will be in order. Once it's established, but we need to establish what the facts were from that point of view.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Kindly turn down the volume on your radio set, or you move away from
Hello, good morning.
Hello,
we can hear you now.
My name is Ayo Daotola.
I want to ask the question: why don't we examine what is really wrong with us? During Saraki time, we complained that he was very opposing to the presidency and things could not move. This legislature, they are very cooperative with the presidency and things are still the same. What is the real question? What is the problem we have that we don't know? Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling. Well,
it reminds one of Kete Kete. You understand? You can't please whatever you do. You can't please. No, but I think that under the Saraki, we had a much better legislature. Issues were scrutinized, and a lot of bills some of the bills were thrown out. Some were approved. But what we have here is all-scale approval. All-scale. You understand? Whatever the federal government wants, or rather the presidency wants, they get it. And surely you can't run a government that way.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, hello. Please, you know what happened is the truth of the matter is we are having problem on the structure and the constitution. That's our problem. It's not putting blame on Mr. President or the legislative. Good morning, this is Mbasho.
Yeah, but it's also people that operate it. The structure is operated by people. Yes, the structure might be defective, but if you have the best structure in the world and you have people that don't have a clue, then you're going to have a problem. United States had the best structure in the world, and you had a clown as president, you understand, and you had problems. So the people that run the structure also matter.
All right. It's been a swell time on the paper review this morning. Dr. Olu Ojedokun, thank you for featuring on the paper review this morning. Well, it's a new week. Positive things happen to positive people. My name is Chike Ubogu, wishing you a very positive week ahead.
All right, I am Olutayo Gnade saying stay positive throughout the week and have a great Monday.
FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.
Please listen to the special announcement. This is to inform the general public that FMH, International HR Affiliate with United Nations Volunteer Research Group, is currently sensitizing people on the problems facing the international immigrant, especially on how to secure foreign employment anywhere in the world. For further inquiries, you can call 081-0005-6451 and 081-1551-4779. Thank you.
32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.